Welcome to Cyber Bites, your weekly dose of the latest and most important stories in cybersecurity. I'm your host, Edwin Kwan, and as always, I'm here to break down the news, cut through the noise, and give you the insights you need to stay safe and informed in our connected world. We've hit a milestone today, as this is our 50th podcast episode. So a big thank you to you, our listeners, for your support. We've got a packed episode today, so let's get right into it. First up, a story that's causing headaches for security professionals and penetration testers everywhere. Kali Linux users are facing update failures after Offensive Security, which is the team behind Kali, lost access to their repository signing key. If you're a Kali user and your app update is suddenly throwing signature verification errors, you are not alone. Here's what happened. Offensive Security lost the previous signing key. It wasn't compromised, they just lost it, and they had to generate a new one. The repository was frozen on February 18 to prevent any unsigned or potentially malicious packages from slipping through. But now, with the repository unfrozen and signed by the new key, anyone still using the old key will see errors like missing key, which is needed to verify signature. So what do you need to do? You have to manually install the new key. Once you've done that, the sudo app update should work as expected. If you're not comfortable with manual updates or want a fresh start, new installation images with the updated keyring are available. This isn't the first time this has happened. Back in 2018, a similar key expiration issue required manual intervention. So lessons learned, always keep your keyrings up to date and maybe check your update logs more often than you like to admit. Up next, let's talk about privacy. WhatsApp just launched a new feature called Advanced Chat Privacy. It's all about giving you more control over your conversations. Here's what's new. When you enable Advanced Chat Privacy on a chat, and yes, you have to do this for each chat individually. Doing that blocks others in the conversation from exporting the chat. It disables automatic media downloads and prevents your messages from being used in AI-powered features within WhatsApp. This is especially handy for group chats where you might not know everyone personally, like perhaps a health support group or a community organization. But there is a catch though, it doesn't block screenshots. So while your messages are safer from export and AI, someone could still snap a quick pic of your chat. WhatsApp say this is just the first version of the feature and they're planning more enhancements in future updates. To activate it, open a chat, tap the chat name at the top, and look for the Advanced Chat Privacy option in the settings. Remember, you need the latest version of WhatsApp for this to work. WhatsApp has been steadily rolling out privacy features over the years with end-to-end encryption, disappearing messages, chat logs, and now this. With over 2 billion users, even small privacy improvements can have a massive impact. For our next story, if you are a Samsung Galaxy phone user, you need to hear this. Security researchers and users have discovered a glaring vulnerability in Samsung's clipboard management. Every bit of text you copy, including passwords, banking info, private messages, they all get stored in plain text indefinitely unless you manually clear it. Now, this isn't just a theoretical risk. If someone picks up your unlocked phone, they can browse your clipboard history and see everything you've copied, including those sensitive passwords. Worse, there are info-stealing malware designed specifically to sift through clipboards for exactly this kind of data. Switching to a third-party keyboard like Gboard doesn't help because the clipboard is managed at the system level in Samsung's One UI. There's no built-in option to auto-delete clipboard contents after a certain time and no way to exclude sensitive apps from clipboard history. Samsung has acknowledged the issue and say that they are considering options like auto clear or app exclusion. But for now, their advice is to manually clear your clipboard and use secure input methods for sensitive information. So if you're a Samsung user, make it a habit to clear your clipboard regularly and be extra cautious when copying passwords or sensitive data. Until Samsung rolls out a real fix, this remains a serious vulnerability. Now, for a wild story out of Florida, a former Disney menu production manager has been sentenced to 3 years in federal prison after hacking into Disney's restaurant menu system as an act of revenge following his termination. The employee in question was fired in June 2024 for misconduct. In retaliation, he repeatedly accessed Disney's menu creation servers without authorization, and his sabotage included changing menu prices and item descriptions, adding profanity and offensive symbols, including a swastika, to the menus, falsifying allergen information, indicating some items containing peanuts as being safe for those with allergies, which is a potentially deadly move. He also altered wine region names to reference locations of mass shooting and locked out at least 14 Disney employees from their accounts through denial of service attacks, making over 100,000 incorrect logging attempts. Fortunately, Disney caught the changes before any tainted menus reached the public, but the disruption was significant. The menu system was rendered inoperable for up to 2 weeks, and Disney has since abandoned the application entirely. The offender pleaded guilty to computer fraud and aggravated identity theft and was ordered to pay nearly $688,000 in restitution. This case is a reminder of the risk posed by insider threats. Even after termination, former employees with lingering access can cause enormous damage. Companies need robust offboarding processes, regular audits, and where possible, real-time monitoring of sensitive systems. Finally, let's turn to the CISO corner. At a recent RSA conference, a panel of seasoned security executives shared hard-earned advice for today's Chief Information Security Officers who, as one panelist jokes, are sometimes seen as Chief Scapegoat Officers. The key takeaways from the discussions are to negotiate protections up front, that before taking a CISO role, to insist on directors and officers' insurance and personal legal liability insurance. These policies can cover you during and after your tenure, especially if you are blamed for a breach or have to blow the whistle on unethical behavior. The other takeaway is to document everything, every decision, every conversation. Keep a record. Email is evidential mail, as one panelist put it. After important calls, send a summary email. Make sure your comments are entered into board meeting minutes, especially on controversial topics. Also, don't trust HR to protect you. HR and ethics panel ultimately work for the company, not for you. If you blow the whistle, expect to be thoroughly investigated yourself. Be careful with lawsuits and the media. Suing your employer or going to the press can result in industry blacklisting. Sometimes the best move is to leave quietly with your reputation and network intact. And lastly, negotiate a golden parachute. Having a solid severance package means you can make ethical decisions without worrying about your financial future. The bottom line is that the CISO role is high pressure and high stakes. Protect yourself, build strong relationships, and always act with integrity. But don't expect the organization to have your back if things go wrong. And that's all for this week's Cyber Bites. Whether you're a security professional, a privacy advocate, or just someone trying to keep your digital life safe, I hope you found today's stories insightful and actionable. Remember, cybersecurity isn't just about tech. It's about people, processes, and staying one step ahead of both bad actors and honest mistakes. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and keep those passwords out of your clipboard.